don't shed a tear now. Be thankful for the time. Life wouldn't be so precious, dear, if there never was an end. Children to play in the garden. Dance as the sun slips away. We stand on the edge now. No. We've come so far. Through all the dust, it becomes clear. Yeah. You will always be my heart. There's no death, no end of time when I'm facing with you. It's the play in the garden. Dance as the sun slips away. Not even stop lasts forever. I had such a case of shell shock the other day. I was in public and I was hearing someone on shorts, and I heard my voice. And I'm a content creator. I make so much content. I hear my voice all the fucking time, and I immediately I stop in my tracks, and I kind of clamp my foot down. The guy looks up from his phone, looks back down, looks up, stop, and walked off. Didn't say a word to me. It was just like, neat. Anyway, walks away. If I started swiping and a content creator pops up in front of me right as I get to one of their fucking videos, I'm gonna be a little shocked. Come up to me and say hi is perfectly fine with people. I've never been approached. Never, not once. I don't even think that guy knows my videos. A famous man? No. He was swiping on shorts organically, and I just popped up, and I was next to him in the stove. I was like, no, I've never had a thing where someone knew who I was. It usually comes about when someone asks me what do you do for a living? I'd be like, I explain, and I show them, and they're like, wait a minute, I've seen one of your videos. That's the one I get. I was like, cool. A small world. It's June. It's not even July yet. And you're doing jolly Christmas music? It's literally the 2nd of June. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if my wife needs help. I'm gonna start my audiobook. Enjoy that while I'm gone. I'm gonna be right back, chat. If you're new here, chat amongst the people. We don't bite.
Admiral's avatar. He was sitting on an enormous mushroom and he looked like a caterpillar or some sort of slug. He was also chewing on what looked like the world's largest Twizzler. What the hell was going on? Joe, he called. Joe, can you hear me? Yes, I don't want to hear you. Wake up, he shouted. I did. Huh. That explained the mushroom and Twizzler thing I'd been dreaming. What? I blinked at his usual avatar. What time is it? 01:45. Joe, we might have a problem. If we only might have a problem, can I go back to sleep? How about you decide after you hear what the problem is? Shit. Now that I was awake, I had to pee anyway. Crap. Okay, go ahead. Keep the lights off, please. There was still a hope that I could get back to sleep for another 3 hours. You know, the kitties brought fleet support ships with them. That was a statement, not a question, but I knew what he meant. Yeah, sure. They can perform maintenance on their ships and stay here a long time, so over the past 2 days, the fabricators on those support ships have been very active, cranking out components continuously. The Maxolts have deployed a fleet of tugs to mine asteroids for raw materials. Maybe the Admiral, I mumbled through a jaw-stretching yawn. Damn it, I do not think well when I'm sleepy. Decided to remodel his bathroom or something. Try to be serious, Joe. The kitties are constructing something out there. That's it? They're constructing something? I assume they are not making a birthday present for you, dum-dum. This could be very dangerous to us. Can you just tell me what it is? A picture is worth 1,000 words. You should look at it. If I do, will you go away? Sure. Any notion of pleasantly drifting back to sleep was wiped away when I saw the whatever it was. What the hell is that? I wish I knew for sure. Querying the database up there would risk exposing I have access to their systems and... No, don't do that. Have you been able to intercept any comms about whatever those things are? Sort of. There are references to platforms and a grid, but that's all I know. The kitties are keeping information about this project very tightly controlled. One particular frigate regularly jumps back and forth between the blockade and the support ships. It must be acting as a courier, physically carrying data back and forth. Joe, unfortunately, the kitties are being very careful with their information security. Of course they are. They're afraid of you. That wasn't something I said to suck up to him. It was the simple truth. Looking again at my tablet, I zoomed in the image to a point where it was too fuzzy to be helpful. 16 ships that Skippy identified as heavy cruisers had things attached to them. Some type of girders or framework surrounded the center of each ship. The frames were not thick or sturdy enough to support the mass of another ship, so there weren't some way to connect ships together. 16 ships had apparently been completed and were moving away from the cluster of support ships. A line of heavy cruisers was approaching, presumably to be fitted with whatever the framework was. There was a long line of heavy cruisers of various classes. What caught my eye was the number. A total of 88 ships had been or were being modified, plus maybe more ships would jump in to join the line. What the hell were the kitties doing out there? Can you guess? I asked. That framework looks like antennas? Good guess, Joe. That's what I think too. What kind of antenna? You're not going to like this. I will like it even less if it becomes a real problem and we could have done something about it. Okay. He took a breath. Basically, I think those ships are intended to cluster together with antennas creating a sort of tractor beam between them. Tractor beam? I laughed. This isn't Star Trek. I'm being serious, Joe. Call it whatever you want. It is a field that can be extended far from the ships and pull matter towards the antenna. Oh, shit. Yeah. You see why this could be a problem? I hope I'm wrong about this. If those ships were in orbit, how far down could that field reach? To the ice layer? But I don't think the ships will be in orbit. I think that if they are needed, they will descend down to our level, maybe deeper. If they do that, the tractor beam could extend far down into the ice. Admiral Reichert was calling my bluff. He couldn't risk hitting Valkyrie while we were deep in the atmosphere because the ship might explode and Skippy could fall down deep into the ice toward the plant's core. But if he had a device that could dig into that ice and pull Skippy's canister up, then Valkyrie was toast. And there wasn't anything I could do about it.
So for context, the ship is currently purposely hiding in around, I don't know, like distance-wise, but pressure-wise, they're sitting around about 39 bar of atmospheric pressure in the atmosphere of this gas giant, with about 1,800 very angry, very pissed off aliens who can't destroy you because you hold an AI which is currently the only thing that is able to add more time to the timers of strategically placed weapons, which, if activated, would activate very scary robotic monsters that would wipe out the galaxy, because they prohibit the use of that weapon, and they'll just wipe everything back to the Stone Age. So it's a kind of a mutually assured destruction. So the Maxults, or these aliens, can't destroy them. They have to capture them. So they're building a tractor beam. The idea is, I think, in either way, they could either lift the ship up, or if Skippy, that AI, which is has a physical presence, it's just a little canister, if they're able to fish him out of that gas giant before he sinks too deep, that's why they're making that tractor beam, which is crazy to think about.
Damn it! I slapped the bed, a less emphatic gesture than I intended, and swung my legs onto the deck. Will it work? It is a technology the Maxults use for mining. This is a highly unusual and large-scale adaptation of that tech. I really do not know if they can scale it up successfully. How soon will they be ready? To use the device or to test it? Test it, right, I muttered to myself. They will want to test it first. Crap. Reichert will show the test results to me. Taunt me with them. Joe, I can't guess the schedule for a test program. At the rate they are converting ships, they will have all 88 ships completed in 9 days. Chapter 36. Crap! 3 days later, Skippy confirmed that schedule. We could see that 11 ships were linked together, testing the device, and it was clear they found problems because those ships went back to have their framework modified. A second test in space was conducted, apparently with more success. Then they conducted a test with 22 ships hovering over a large rocky asteroid. An energy field that looked like a hollow lance slowly extended down towards the asteroid's dull gray surface, then punched into it like a plasma cutter. In the center of the field, chunks of glowing debris were pulled up between and past the ring of ships, being ejected out beyond them like a fountain. That test continued until... Skippy grumbled. Not good for us. That asteroid is dense and iron-rich, not easy to drill into. Their tractor beam lance could easily penetrate the layer of water and methane ice below us. Okay, I thought. But they don't know that for sure. They will need to test it here. They are already making preparations to do that.
No, we've been sleeping.
The
It's
test site
just
will likely be on the other
today
side of
I've
the
been
planet
very
from our
low
position,
energy.
so we can't interfere.
Toddler has
Shit.
been genuinely...
He was right about that. In the dense air,
Toddler.
Valkyrie was moving at supersonic speed, which sounded fast, but was not. The planet was big, and we couldn't increase our
I'm not
airspeed
saying
significantly
anyone
for a
should,
sustained
but I'm going to
sprint,
say it
not
just
without
because
severe damage to the
fucking
ship.
why not? I wish I had G-Subs money right now. Like, gamer subs? Dude. Like, both the lean flavor and the guacamole gamer fart 9000. I would, like, the energy drink mix, bro. It's like coffee. I love coffee. Coffee's starting not to do anything. Which is not ideal. Goddamn.
I took a gamble, and I'm losing. Time. We need more time. The wheels in my brain were turning. Slowly. Time. Skippy, can you make it look like our engines are in bad shape? They are in bad shape, I keep telling you that. In worse condition than they already are. Sure, I could retune the... Wait, why are we doing this? To buy time. If Riker thinks we are running out of options down here, he won't be in such a rush to take a gamble with that tractor beam. Ah, I think I understand what you're thinking. We make it look like Valkyrie can't remain down here much longer. Exactly. To sell it.
Easing is not the word I would describe.
Admiral Asshole. Riker made me wait when I contacted him. When he finally did respond,
naked and
7
I've been
hours
flopped in
later,
a pan of oil.
he was as haughty and arrogant as I expected a Maxolt's senior admiral to be. His confidence was boosted by another successful test of the tractor beam, though he didn't know that I knew about that. I expected him to boast about how he soon would be able to blast Valkyrie to vapor and still recover Skippy, but he didn't mention it. He was probably waiting until after a test drill into the actual ice layer of the planet. Also, Skippy recently saw the production of antennas had slowed significantly. He thought the kiddies were having difficulty finding enough of the proper raw materials in the resource-poor star system. Both of those factors played in our favor. We delayed the time when Riker would be confident enough to bombard us with the massed fire of several hundred ships.
Oh, I'm not upset,
by
Mr.
which I mean I listened to him monologuing like a villain in a bad James Bond movie about how he knew our engines were failing and we had no options.
I am good.
For my part of the charade, I did nothing to change his mind. To stall for time, I needed him to be supremely confident.
Supremely confident.
Overconfident.
Overconfident. I'm gonna fill my water
I'd
up.
only like to discuss sending part of my crew into orbit, I said after the negotiations had dragged on over an hour. That is all I wish to discuss. I have no interest in guaranteeing the safety of your crew, he replied, as if I would ever trust anything he said. Unless you include something
Not a
that
bad joke,
benefits
it's fine.
my people. I am not sending the Elder AI to you. You think I am stupid? He didn't answer me.
Honestly, I would almost prefer Mercury.
Until you are forced to bring your ship out of the atmosphere. It was my turn to pause, to make him think I didn't know what to say. We were communicating by audio only. I was in a conference room with Sims and Spike. It was kind of odd to be aboard one of the most advanced starships in the galaxy, while 2 people wrote notes on post-it pads and passed them to me. Mostly my executive officer and the star team leader didn't have much to contribute. We wargamed the negotiations before I called the admiral. It was going pretty much the way we expected.
I don't know. I've been feeling like very low energy, and maybe I'm dehydrated. So, drink water. Your favorite Baldy. There's other bald people in your life.
Colonel Bishopires, the accomplishments of your people have been incredible. No one can deny that. To acquire one of our warships and elder weapons is impressive, particularly considering you have been working under the disadvantages of your primitive biology and culture. He paused, maybe so I could mutter thanks for his praise. When I didn't say anything, he went on a bit awkwardly. As I said, you must be reasonable and realistic. Your people should not possess elder weapons. Your culture is not ready to be entrusted with such dangerous power. Give us the Elder AI, and we will have no further reason to quarrel with
I love
humans.
cranberry juice, bro.
Your people
my
may
God.
develop on their own, in peace.
We are doing
without
our grocery
interference
shopping
from a
trip
being
tomorrow, so we will
beyond
be able to
your
grab some.
understanding.
Something I'm very glad about.
What about
They
Valkyrie? I played
people
along
were
with her.
worried that cranberry juice was going to be one of the things that isn't covered by food stamps anymore. No, it is. Hey, David,
Though my
sleeping.
superiors may question me later, he said in a "we are both military officers" appeal to me. You may keep the ship, though I suspect without assistance from the Elder AI, you will soon find it difficult to keep your ship in flight-worthy condition. I will need to think about this. Admiral, you understand that if I agree to your proposal, while I still have other options, my superiors will consider a surrender to be an act of cowardice. They are not here, Colonel Bishop, my new best buddy said smoothly. I do understand. You must understand that my patience is not without limit. You cannot take forever to consider my most generous offer. My engines won't last forever, I admitted. I need to discuss your offer with my senior staff. Admiral, you need to consider how you can offer me a guarantee that my ship will not be destroyed after we give Skippy to you. A guarantee? His smooth buddy act slipped a bit. I can guarantee that you will not get a better offer. Very well. As you are responsible for the lives of your crew, I am willing to consider offering an assurance that we will uphold our end of the agreement. The back-and-forth negotiations went on for days, while Skippy retuned our engines to make it look like one or more of them could fail at any moment. Reichert's assurance was that after we exceeded escape velocity by a set number, one ship would approach us with the rest of his fleet withdrawing to beyond weapons range. It sounded like a good deal, except Valkyrie would still be trapped in a damping field and Reichert could jump his entire fleet on top of us in a heartbeat. Playing nice with that asshole was making me lose my appetite. It also worked in our favor. Skippy reported the Maxolts had dramatically slowed down their work to fix ships with antennas for the scaled-up tractor beam, and the kiddies were not conducting any more tests. Everything was going great, or as well as could be expected. At some point, Reichert's patience would run out, or he would realize our engines were not failing quite as quickly as they appeared to be. Until then, we were buying time. If the lazy freaking spiders did not show up soon, it would all be for nothing. For once, Skippy's timing was perfect. He did not wake me up in the middle of the night. He didn't call while I was in the shower or doing sprints on a treadmill. A treadmill was involved. I had one hand on a railing to step on when he spoke into my earpiece. "Uh-oh, Joe. We got trouble." Immediately, I stepped to the side and waved to the guy behind me that the treadmill was available. Before answering, I walked out of the gym to avoid breaking the unwritten rule of no talking on the phone while in the gym. People who do that are jerks, and unfortunately, I'm kind of an expert on being that type of jerk. "What is it, Skippy?" Out in the passageway, I turned toward a bulkhead so curious people in the gym couldn't read my lips. "We just got swept by a scanning beam. Don't worry, our shields blocked it. They didn't see anything useful." "Okay, why is this a problem? Are they just verifying our location again?" "The ships upstairs regularly pinged us with active sensor pulses to make sure they knew exactly where we were. Maybe they were afraid we would use Skippy magic to wrap Valkyrie in a stealth field and slip away while we used the dropship to project an image of our battlecruiser. Which, by the way, is an idea we considered until Skippy shot it down as an example of stupid monkeys not being able to understand physics. We might be able to conceal Valkyrie from enemy sensors. We might even be able to use a dropship as a decoy for a short time before the dropship's power cells burned out from the enormous power drain. But not even Skippy's awesome magnificence could make our battlecruiser move through thick air without creating ripples that spread out all the way to the top of the atmosphere. There just was not any way to push the massive bulk of our ship through the air without shoving aside a volume of air equal to the ship's size. Yes, we could minimize the disturbance by changing the shape of our energy shields to establish a laminar flow around us. All that did was minimize turbulence. The kiddies could still see the wake we left as we flew, so Skippy was right to shoot down that idea. Dropping Valkyrie
about
into
Nolan?
Snow Cone was a desperation move, but better than getting blasted by 1,000 ships. It was also like climbing a tree when you're being chased by a bear. All the bear has to do is wait on the ground. It knows you eventually have to come down. Except bears can climb trees. Okay, that was a bad example, but you know what I mean. No, the scanning beam is different from a sensor pulse. Joe, the scan was not directed at the ship. It was focused on our wake. Oh, shit. You see the problem? Maybe. They're analyzing our engine output? Correct. I would tell you to get a juice box, but I'm kind of scared out of my mind, you know? Yeah, me too. Give me the bad news. As requested, I have been faking engine distress. The kiddies are very familiar with the characteristics of these engines, so I'm limited in the type of failure I can imitate. The sensor data they've been seeing makes sense to them. It shows our engine degrading in a pattern that is believable and predictable. Right.
Oh.
In a few days, when our engines
Yeah,
don't
that's the thing,
fail, they will know we've been scamming them. Ah, it's worse than that. To stall for time, I have been pretending to conduct running repairs, temporarily improving the condition of one engine at a time. I may have used that trick too many times. The kitties upstairs are suspicious. That's why they scanned our wake. Joe, they are not going to detect the mix of ions that should be left behind us if our engine thrust chambers really were degrading. Shit. How long until... I suspect their AIs have already informed Admiral Reichert that we have been screwing with him. Frap. I slumped against the bulkhead and saw
That'd be
people
too
in the
weird.
gym whispering to themselves. They couldn't read my lips. They didn't have to. Body language was clear. Has Reichert tried to contact me? Not yet. He will. Okay, I need to talk with Sims about this. Crap! We needed those 2 days. 2 days will not make a difference for us, Joe. The spiders won't be here fast enough to bail us out of this mess. 2 days is 2 more than we have now, I said. But he was right. Maybe I can give Reichert another bullshit excuse. I'll try to think of something. By the time I got to my office, still dressed for the gym, Skippy had more bad news for me. Joe, I just intercepted a message from one support ship to another. The first ship apparently has been ordered to go back into full-rate production on antennas, and the crew protested because they had taken some of the fabricators offline for repairs. They requested clarification of the orders. The second ship replied that the Admiral's staff had determined we never intended to surrender, and he is pissed that we played him. He wants the tractor beam to be completed as soon as possible. Damn. We knew that would happen when they discovered we'd been faking engine distress. Yes, but now you can't use a bullshit story to stall for time. Reichert won't listen to you. You're right. I sat down heavily in the chair, grateful it was oversized for me. The height was adjusted so my feet could touch the deck, but it was still too big for a human. Sure, I could have replaced it with a normal chair from Earth, as Sims suggested, or asked Skippy to fabricate something for me. I didn't want that. Each time I walked into my office and saw that chair, it reminded me that someone else had sat in that chair before me, and it reminded me that bad shit could happen when you least expect it. The previous captain of our ship certainly had not expected trouble during a routine transition through a wormhole until we sliced his ship in 2 pieces. Wait, something about what Skippy said wasn't right. You intercepted a message? The kiddies were being super careful about ComSec. Maybe they know we're listening, and this is a ruse. I don't think so. He crushed my faint hope immediately. The support ships are clustered way out in the asteroid belt. They have been exchanging routine message traffic since they arrived. I haven't mentioned it because they haven't said anything interesting until now. Also, those 2 support ships immediately got slammed by a cruiser captain for breaking security protocols, and they have gone silent. It was a screw-up, Joe. We're lucky I heard the transmissions. We must consider taking direct action, Smythe declared when he and Sims were told about the suddenly accelerated timeline. Okay. I like the idea of doing something rather than sitting and waiting for doom to fall on us out of the sky. How can we do that? Smythe nodded to me and addressed a question to our AI. Skippy, do you know their schedule for testing? Not exactly. They have assembled a group of modified ships in high orbit. For reasons I don't entirely understand, their tests always involve multiples of 11. 22 heavy cruisers, equipped with tractor beam antennas, are on trajectories that will bring them into contact with the atmosphere in 19 hours on the other side of the planet. They are accompanied by 8 battleships and 2 squadrons of destroyers. I do not know whether the battleships will descend with the test ships. What are you thinking? I asked Smythe. 22 ships will be down here, he noted, even deeper in the atmosphere than we are. To drill into the ice, they will have to be traveling slowly. I expect they will need to hover over the site, Skippy interjected. If I was conducting the tests, I would fire a railgun dart into the ice, then try to recover it. That is the only way to realistically simulate digging me out of the ice layer. The kitties are most likely doing something like that. The test ships will be vulnerable while they are hovering. I looked at Smythe. Is that what you mean by direct action? Quite so, he agreed. We can't fly the ship to the test site, Skippy warned. Our speed is limited when we're flying through this soup, and the enemy will select a test site on the other side of the planet from wherever we are. By the time we got close enough to launch weapons, the battleships will have moved to intercept. Yeah, but... I rubbed my chin while I thought. We could disrupt the test. Reichert won't move against us until he is certain the scaled-up tractor beam works properly. The battleships can't hit us hard. Not while we're down here. Ah.
Yes.
Skippy let out a breath.
I try not to do
That explains it.
certain things on live because YouTube tends to not like it.
Explains what? Why the test ships are in 2 groups of 11 on different trajectories. They expect us to make an attempt to disrupt the testing, so they will test at 2 sites. We can't disrupt both sites. Well, I spoke for all 3 of us. Crap. Hold on. Sims leaned forward toward Skippy's avatar. The Maxolts aren't aware that we know about their tractor beam program, are they? Skippy blinked. Not that I know of. It doesn't matter. Once those ships descend below the cloud layer, we will know they are here, and they wouldn't be doing anything to benefit us. So, XO, that is a good point, I said to Sims. If we react right away, they will suspect we are somehow intercepting their comms. From across the table, I saw Smythe was wearing his I am being patient face. Smythe? I was not suggesting we use the ship's guns, he said with an irritated glance at Skippy, which the beer can cluelessly ignored. Well, Skippy plunged ahead. We certainly can't launch missiles at them. The fleet upstairs would blow them out of the sky before they could do anything useful. This is a bad environment for missiles anyway. Their motors are designed for sprints, not continuous cruising. I suppose if I knew where the test sites will be, we could... No, that wouldn't work either. No. Skippy, I glared at him. Yes? Shut the hell up and let Colonel Smythe talk. Ah! I shushed him. Smythe nodded to me. His relationship with Skippy had greatly improved over the years. He still did not tolerate nonsense the way I had to. How many of the tractor beam ships, plus their escorts, are infected with malware? Blow up those ships? I groaned. We can't do that. We need to keep that capability a secret until we're ready to escape. Smythe's right eye twitched. He was now irritated with me. I was thinking, sir, that Skippy might use his access to play havoc with their test apparatus. Skippy pondered the idea. Huh. Maybe I should shut up and listen more often. Can you do that? Sims asked. Affect their test results? Jeez. Skippy took off his hat and pretended to scratch his head. Maybe. I don't know. It would be very tricky. None of the antenna ships are infected. They were too far away, and each ship had to conduct a full diagnostic and purge before it was accepted in the conversion program. The kitties are being very careful because they know about, my extreme awesomeness. I kinda screwed myself there, Rolling my eyes, I asked, "Can your extreme awesomeness please answer the question?" I said, "I don't know yet." That software was very specific. It evolved in one direction with one goal: to give me access to the control AI of a ship-killer missile and to cover its tracks at every step along the way. I sprained my brain to create the original fragments of that software and embed it in the DNA of the kitties we captured, to unwind it so it could somehow leap to one of the tractor beam ships and mess up the test? Whew. Wow, my brain hurts just thinking about it. Would you rather be on display in some kiddie's office as a souvenir? Good point, he mumbled. All I can promise is that I will try, okay? That's all we can ask. When can you start? He didn't answer. Skippy? Huh? When can you? I am working on it, and it would go faster if I wasn't interrupted by monkeys screeching at me every freaking second. Placing a finger to my lips, I gestured for Sims and Smythe to follow me into the passageway. If this works, I pointed to our star leader. I'm giving you top marks. That amused him. Something to post on my locker to impress the lads? I'll see what I can do. Huh. What? The question was from Sims. Well, the era of us sneaking around is over, right? I thought open warfare would be tough, but more straightforward. Yet here we are doing sneaky shit again. We're outgunned literally 1,000 to 1. We don't have a choice, Sims noted. Besides, sneaky shit worked pretty well for us, she added with a smile. Doing sneaky shit is what got us here, I said. Bilby, I'm here, dude. Hey, Skippy will be distracted for... You don't have to tell me, the ship's AI interrupted. He dumped the entire ship's operation on me without any notice. This is bogus, man. You can handle it? Oh, sure. He gave a dramatic sigh. No problemo. Well, Joe, Skippy's avatar appeared on my desk looking very pleased with himself. I despaired. Truly, I thought the task was impossible, even for me. Yet, because I am me, I persevered. This might be one of my greatest accomplishments. Although, he shrugged in a display of false modesty, the only type of modesty he understood. Who could say which of my accomplishments is the greatest? Anyway, I am very proud to announce that... I mumbled through a mouthful of the sandwich I'd just bitten into. Bilby told me what he did. He did? Skippy stuttered. Yep. He explained how you declared it was impossible and you did give up until he reminded you how he evolved. Then he helped you create a model of the substrate aboard a Maxolk's destroyer, and the two of you figured out how to teach a malware to evolve itself so it can do what we want. You're saying that is not true? Well, I'm sure Bilby greatly exaggerated his part, and he told me you would say that too. As proof of his contribution, he created this very informative 83-slide PowerPoint deck. I turned my laptop around to face Skippy. Jeez, Joe, don't believe everything you see in a PowerPoint. He included 700 terabytes of supporting documents if you care to look at... Well, he huffed. That can all be faked. How about you simply be an adult and credit Bilby for assisting you?
The bottle, like, took the part right there.
If I have to. That wasn't so hard,
I rinsed it out pretty thoroughly.
Dying inside, Joe. I feel terrible about that. So will this work? Maybe. You really want to try
Interesting
this?
mechanics.
What's the downside? That it will only work once. The kitties will be confused about the test results the first time, and they will likely pull the ships back into orbit to analyze what went wrong. After they compare the data from individual ships to the official results, they will realize we screwed with the data. This whole scheme might buy us only 1 day. One is better than zero, Skippy.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
That's just not funny.
No need to thank me, Joe. It's the least I can. Thank Bilby for me. Oh, I'm gonna hurl. Skippy was right. Not about him puking, about the tests. The kiddies did send 2 groups of 11 ships down deep near the ice layer, and as he suggested, they fired a railgun dart into it. Not just one dart.
Yeah.
They bombarded a section of ice with hundreds of darts to simulate a debris field if Valkyrie exploded. That makes sense. We should have known they would do that. The test ships needed to locate one particular dart, then drill down to it and pull it up with the tractor beam. Neither of the tests was successful. They were halted after about 3 hours, and the test ships climbed back into orbit. To sell the story that we didn't know what was happening, I called Riker, demanding to know what he was doing with all those ships. He ignored me, as I expected. Our effort to delay the test program worked for a while. 31 hours after the first test, the same ships descended again for a second set of drilling and recovery. That time they were successful. We knew that because those ships transmitted their results in the clear. They wanted us to know what they were doing and how screwed we were.
Yeah.
Shit. The kiddies
little
only needed
hungry
to wait until they had all
monster,
88
huh?
ships converted with tractor beam antennas. Then Riker could blast us with the massed fire of 1,000 ships. He was calling my bluff, and the clock was running out on us.
They
The
are a
spiders
black
would not
hole
arrive in
for
time to save us.
milk.
Chapter 37. Hey, Joe. Skippy waited until I got out of the shower before he called me. Not only out of the shower, I was toweled off, had pants on, and was buttoning my uniform taut. It wasn't like him to be so polite. That got me worried even before he said anything else. Hey, Skippy. We need to talk. Oh, shit. It's not good when your significant other says that. When a usually snarky elder AI says it, it has to be all kinds of bad. Let me get this shirt done. I hurriedly fastened the last couple buttons. Okay. Stepping out in the cabin, I walked over to the couch and sat down,
Such a lame
leaning
joke.
forward to where his avatar appeared on a sort of coffee table. What's up? I don't see a way out of this. The fabricators on the support ships are working at full capacity. They will have the last of 88 ships outfitted with antennas in 3 days. They are converting 95 ships. I guess in case they have a problem or we manage to shoot a couple of them. The math is not in our favor. He paused because usually I would ask a stupid...
How many loads? Okay, if each load is started at the same time, the first 3 set of loads could be done it's done in about 45 minutes, and after that it's about a 34-ish or 40-ish minute period in the dryer. So that would be what, an hour and 25, an hour and 30? Why? Someone's admitting that they jumped the border in my chat. Could have sworn. I love you. These flippin' moths. I swear. I love Taco Bell and mowing the lawn. I don't like Taco Bell. I'll have a Cruncherito and I won't complain about it, but my stomach will hurt. I'd almost prefer a place that just makes a generic big burrito. You know what I mean?
question or make some inane comment. All I did was nod for him to continue. Any way you look at it, the kitties will be ready to dig.
Also, I would love to do a video where I dress up nice. I pay for my food, but I intensively take notes. It's the whole plot of the video. I don't ask for special treatment. I don't say that I'm a critic. I just go in there and I act like I'm a critic. Because I want to make them, or I want to make them earn that sweat. I'm not, and I'll pay my food, and I'll probably, honestly, obviously, if it's a good business, I'm gonna tip because it's very important for certain restaurants. But if it's like a sit-in restaurant, most of the time there's a tipping culture. We all know that. I'd love that to be a video where we go to 3 fancy restaurants or 3 restaurants. One non-expensive, one mid-tier expensive, and one that's a little bit more pricey. And we do the same kind of character. I'm dressed up, full suit, everything. And I go to town. And then I take intensive notes. Like almost 4 pages of notes. Because what are they going to think? Oh my god, is this guy a critic? Oh my god, is he going to make a review? Oh my god, what? This guy's an interesting character. It can either be in the bad, it can be in the good. TLC is going to make about 5 seasons of that. Because you know they would. They would in a fucking Texas heartbeat minute. Okay. I figured, Nolan. I figured you didn't jump. Also, as much as I'm for deportation, I ain't no snitch. Hey, look, I love Law and Order, but I don't love the government. You know what I mean? The one where it's talking about the when she dies in her afterlife experience, I think it's a great fucking storyline to take advantage of. Really, dude, street tacos are fucking fire. No, the restaurant name is stupid, but it's called Sweeto Burrito. But they had a fucking like a barbecue brisket bowl kind of burrito. Let me tell you something. The things I would do to have another one of those, because that place shut down. I was like, there's probably a reason why they shut down. Bad placing, you know, couldn't cut it out, bad management. But the place was delicious. Thank you, Mr. Atava. How you doing, man? How are you, sir? You can't label your dog as a dependent. Wait, did the IRS label that, or like what? Like, did she put that there, or what? Thank you, by the way, though. Thank you, Mr. Atava. How are you? What are you up to? That's a weird hill to die on, because God damn it. Anyway, we're getting into the climax of the book.
Me out of the ice before the spiders could get here in sufficient numbers to force the Maxopes to back down. That is not good for you. I know that. We discussed this.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm
Burns.
bluffing down here. If Valkyrie is destroyed, I want you to cooperate with the Maxolks. Not cooperate. Just don't let those timers expire, and do what you can to protect Earth. Don't let anyone have access to Avalon or Jia Yuguan. I will do what you ask, but maybe there is an alternative. Like what? Surrender, Joe. Take their offer. Skippy, you know that as soon as you are aboard one of their ships, they're gonna fire every gun they have at Valkyrie. Any promise they make is bullshit. We can't trust them. They will never let us jump away from here. God damn it, this sucks! I'm not thrilled about it either. What are you doing about it? It surprised me that Skippy asked that question. I don't know there is anything I can do. Bullshit! You are...
For context and setting, everyone, they're stuck in the atmosphere of... What's the worst amount of brain rot you've ever heard? I grew up in the Vine era. All the original brain rot. Not just spoon-fed to me, waterboarded into my frontal lobe. That's half of my personality. Road work ahead. I sure hope it does. They're stuck in the upper atmosphere, or the section deep in a gas giant, hiding from a bunch of aliens that are trying to pull them out and, you know, take them captive. So, very intense. Very intense.
Always dream up some crazy idea to save our asses. I did. Being down here where the kiddies can't risk shooting at us is my plan. It's kind of a lame plan, Joe. It's the best I could think of. Hey, you had the crazy idea to get us out of the ambush with your momentum erasing thing. Ugh, don't remind me. I'm still recovering from that bad idea. We talked for a while, both of us getting more depressed and not accomplishing anything. So what will you do, Joe? He asked. When the kiddies have their tractor beam ready and there's no reason they can't shoot at us. I'm going to tell Riker that we surrender. You just told me that was a bad... I'm going to tell him that we surrender. I'm not going to do it. We'll climb up into orbit and hit them with every weapon we have. If we're going down, we'll do it with our boots on. Okay, that's better. What do you want me to do? Before we open fire, we will launch you away in a stealth missile. Hopefully you can get away with all the high-energy stuff flying around. Leave you? Just run away? I am not... You will be helping us. As long as the kiddies think you're aboard Valkyrie, they won't hit us with their big guns while we will be free to hit them as hard as we can. When we're gone, I felt a lump in my throat. You contact Riker. Tell him who and where you are. He folded his arms across his chest. This plan seriously sucks, Joe. Think about it this way. You'll have a great view of the fireworks. Listen, I can't keep you aboard the ship during the fight. You might fall into the planet, but we don't know for sure that tractor beam thing will work. Joe, he sighed. There's no way out. This feels like the ending of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. What? OMG, you never saw that movie? I never heard of it. You cannot die without having watched a classic like that. Okay, maybe later if... What are you doing right now? Other than nothing useful. I didn't have a good answer for him. So we announced an impromptu movie matinee in an empty cargo bay. Most of the off-duty crew was there to watch with me. Before the movie started, Skippy whispered to me that he changed his mind because Butch and Sundance apparently die at the end. So, he played another movie that had the same actors, a comedy caper called The Sting. I never heard of that one either, which is too bad. It is a good movie. Crap. I wish I knew how the movie ends. Just as the FBI busts in to arrest everyone, Skippy paused the movie to loud complaints from the audience. Sorry, Joe, he said. The spiders are here.
Yes.
Talk to
Okay.
me, Skippy, I ordered.
So context. The two big players in the the story are both the Maxalts and the Rindaloo. Very advanced on their own. Rindaloo, on the other hand, they're a little bit more. They got an edge on technology, for sure, over the Maxalts. So their combat is scary.
As I strapped into the command chair, we had moved our captured frigate behind and slightly below us. Skippy had complete control of that little ship, and ever since we took it, he had bots frantically stripping the interior of everything we didn't need. Out the airlocks went anything that was not required, because the ship no longer had a crew, including life support equipment, seats, consoles, cabin furnishings, all that. He even ripped out non-structural bulkheads, all water storage and pipes, even power conduits that were not connected to anything that ship needed for our purposes. Excess fuel was vented, along with several layers of reactor shielding. Stealth field generators were torn out. Probes and any missiles other than ship killers were launched unpowered to fall tumbling nose over tail to sink deep into the ice below us. We kept all 8 dropships from the frigate. Skippy had expertly flown those spacecraft from the frigate to Valkyrie while the 2 starships came to a stop in midair, hovering with engines and thrusters straining while the dropships transferred. The result of all Skippy's work was that the frigate's mass had decreased by 23%. It was lighter and could accelerate faster, and we needed all of that speed if we were to have a chance to escape. 19 spider ships are up there, Skippy reported. 19 that I know of. If others jumped in farther away, we won't know until those photons reach us. This is interesting. The spider ships jumped in without engaging their gamma ray suppression field. They want the
I'm not going to be
Maxalts to
hanging
know
out
they
on
are
Discord
here.
tonight.
What are those ships doing? The big holographic display
Isla
showed
was
the
born.
planet where we were taking
Very
shelter,
nice.
and space around it to a distance of 5 light seconds. The
It's
Spider
very sweet,
Squadron was
very-
about
very
2.5
adorable
light seconds
pictures.
away from our position.
Toddlers
Their
being
ships
toddlers.
were in 3 triangle formations, with the lead ships a quarter light second closer to the planet. Maxalt ships were moving to envelop their ancient enemy, and a yellow glow throughout the area was the display's way of indicating there were powerful damping fields being projected by both sides. The Rindaloo had jumped in to surprise their rivals, but they would not be jumping away. 19 ships were too few to challenge the Maxalt's 8th Fleet, even with the technology advantage of the Rindaloo. I could not imagine what the Spider Commander hoped to accomplish other than suicide. Right now they are talking to
There's
each
about
other.
1,800
The spiders and
Maxalt
kitties,
ships.
I mean. What are they saying? Can you decrypt the... No encryption, Joe. They are both transmitting in the clear. Wow. Well, this is not good news. Why? What are they... They are negotiating. To share custody of me. Holy sh... How the hell... The spiders are saying they will not allow the Maxalts to get control of me, but they are willing to discuss an arrangement where they both can
Jesus,
assure
Nolan.
I will disable the elder weapons currently possessed by humans. Huh. As if. They should have asked me if I'm willing to... Damn it! We can't have our enemies working together against us. For the Rindaloo and Maxalts to join forces was my worst nightmare. I also didn't believe it would ever happen. Those two species had too much history to trust each other now, especially about something that could alter the balance of power in the galaxy. I had been wrong about that. What else was I wrong about? Screw this. Skippy, it looks like the kiddies have... I zoomed in the display and squinted at it. 14 ships enveloping those 3 lead spider ships? Correct. Great. Of those 14, how many are infected with malware and in...
Nate, I have never gotten an issue about it. The main thing YouTube gets mad at is if we had monetization turned on the live, but if it's turned off, they don't care. They still tell you you can't monetize this, but they've never, out of thousands of lives, given me any pain about it. And so, you know, like, I don't get enough viewers to have ads on. 10 to 15 people, it makes no sense. And it's a hassle for y'all. So I turn that shit off. And if I'm not making any money off of it, copywriters tend to be like, okay. The money is often diverted to them anyway, like automatically. So YouTube covers, you know, one's ass. Though, I have noticed there are some, like the shorts rule, anything under 60 seconds is copyright covered, because music is a big thing about shorts, and having some copyrighted sounds as long as they're under 60 seconds. Seriously? Yeah, no, you can send super chats. Super chats are different. What I mean by monetization is turning ads on the live and turning that shit on. It is what monetization is. Super chats and or 1 second. Let me wait. 1 second. Hold on. No, I don't have monetization on. It didn't tell me. In this case, uh, mini princess. You good? Yeah. Oh, you're very awake, conscious right now. Hello. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Very good. You're okay. You're okay. Oh goodness. Okay. Okay, I guess you wanted to be held this way. Yeah. You're okay. Oh goodness. You got lots to say. You got so much to say. I don't hate the company per se. It definitely has some upper management. My boss is not very popular right now. He, we kind of need an Xbox CEO moment, where we need some fresh blood that's actually, you know, a content creator. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Like an actual YouTuber that knows what it's like and genuinely, you know, creates changes that benefit the platform. Uh, Genuinely though, I think I have it set to where it automatically doesn't turn on monetization mode, and because oh my goodness. We're definitely not stealing the moon, but we definitely could conquer it. Oh, little back, little, you know, get all that gas out. Oh goodness. Burp, burp, burp. Okay. Oh man, so precious. I don't think this is going to improve. I think I'm going to have to end it here, guys. Thank you all for joining. I gotta do some parental duties. See y'all later.